Hello YouTube. Many of you might have a 2013 Honda Accord or a Honda Accord Sport, and you all might want to add a aftermarket amplifier or subwoofer or upgrade your sound system, and do not want to cut into the factory harness. There are parts out there that you can use to attach your factory harness to a receiver harness and then into your vehicle. Those parts are Metra parts 70-1729 and 71-1729, which is the male harness. This one right here. And this is the receiver harness. However, like most of you all know, these harnesses are built for aftermarket radios. So what if you don't want to get rid of your aftermarket radio? One way to do it is to buy two receiver harnesses and add pins to one of them so as to not lose your steering wheel controls as well as your dimmer and so on the factory radio, as well as a hands-free link. Again, this is for Honda Accord. Many of you also know how difficult it is to get these pins out, especially of the receiver harness. But there is a quick way to do it, and I'll show you how to do it. What you'll need is to get a solder iron and your donor harness and a receiver harness to what you're going to add these extra pins to. Now, at the bottom, right on this side, by the bridge, is where the pin is held in. Now, pushing needles down in there or whatever are not going to remove them. But this way, they come out very easily and undamaged. So, put a little tension on the wire, and then let me try to adjust the camera real quick so you can see it. Get your solder iron really hot and go in right by the bridge where the pin is locked in. Just like that, the pin is out and is completely undamaged. The insulation on the wire is intact. Now you can take these pins and add them to another harness, such as this, in the slots that are missing pins, so that you would not lose your steering wheel controls and other important functions on the factory radio that are on the factory harness, but not on the aftermarket Metra harness. So again, as you can see, there's some holes right there where the bridge, where it locks in. Getting these out with a needle or a pin or whatever is just not possible. The hole back here is too small, so you're going to struggle with it, and it's a pain in the butt. This way, they come out cleanly and easily, and with no effort at all. You can easily pull these pins out for use in a second harness to fully populate it. So here we go again. Here's another wire. There it is, removed cleanly and effortlessly. Now, once you build this harness, once you attach this part and this part, so this part will go into the factory radio, this other side will go into the factory harness. You then have two fully populated connectors because you've added pins to another one of these. This one already comes fully populated. I just got one that wasn't fully populated and just added the pins to a second one. As you can see, the pins are right here. Once you have it completely joined up, this one go into the factory radio, this one going into the factory harness. You do not have to cut your factory harness to add aftermarket speakers and amplifier and line output converter and leave your factory radio in place. As many of you know, the 2013 Honda Accord, you really cannot change the factory radio. You can add an amplifier or line output converter in order to get better sounding music, but you would have to tap into your factory harness in order to get the sound out to an amplifier or a line output converter. So this allows you to not have to cut into your factory harness. You simply take two of these, unpin one of them using the method I'm showing you, because I've tried other methods such as locking keys, needle nose pliers, some very thin 18 gauge syringe needles. None of them can unpin this harness as cleanly as simply melting the bridge that's holding the pins in and pulling them right out. So I'm going to do another one for you all to see. As you can see, here's the bridge. Put some tension on the wire at the back. Get over to the bridge. Melt the bridge. The wire comes out cleanly. Just like that. Let's do one more. There we go. Melt them, melt the bridge, pull the wires out, and then you can add them to a second harness so that you can fully populate the Metra harness 70-1729, so that you don't lose your steering wheel controls and other important functions when adding an aftermarket stereo. No, not an aftermarket stereo, an aftermarket amplifier or line output converter, and you have to keep your factory radio intact, and you don't want to cut into the factory harness. So simply build a second Metra harness that's fully populated with 24 pins, and then using the pinning map provided by Honda, you can simply add, in fact, let me get this pinning map really quickly and show it to you all. This is the pinning map for the 2013 Honda Accord, and you simply have to fully populate a second harness with those pins, and then you don't have to cut into your factory harness. Here are my pins. I have a second harness, and I'm going to add these pins in the corresponding position. Make sure you label your pins, because some of them will be the same color as what's already on the second harness that you're going to add pins to. So you don't want to mix up the colors when you're soldering the master harness to the radio and the receiver harness that's going to plug into your factory harness. That's it. I hope I saved you a lot of trouble in trying to unpin a Metra receiver harness for Honda Accord 2013, product number 70-1729. Thank you.